Hello, guys. Welcome to Sound Voice TV. I am here to educate you on how to pass your interview. You have attended so many interviews, you submitted your resume, your CV everywhere, but you haven't got a job. Sometimes this issue can be so pressing, like you are having that feeling of rejection. You have not got something right. And that one thing is what I am about to teach you right now. So pay attention and watch this video while I put you through on how you can have a profound interview and get a job. Tip number one, prepare a very simple resume, meaning that you can have all your qualification just simplify, make it simple the way it is exactly, so you can be able to defend yourself. But by the time you are trying to impress your potential employer or your interviewer by having a very big CV, explaining I've worked in this company, I've worked there as head of service, as this, as that, you say so much that you haven't, gotten half of. So when your interviewer is interviewing you or your potential employer is actually interacting with you, they are interacting with you on the basis of what your CV is saying. So they are looking into your CV and interacting with you based on your CV. If you do not have the backup, if you do not have the capacity to explain what you have in your CV as your qualification, you have already failed. So this one mistake where a lot of people make during their interviews and they never get a job. So they keep wondering what's going on, what's wrong with me and all of that. Of course, you have gone to school, but you are not doing what you're supposed to do. You try to lie in your CV. If you must make a lie you can defend. But I'm actually not teaching you how to make a lie during an interview. All you are saying should be true, should be just you. This is another mistake some people make when during their interaction with their employer, they begin to speak big grammar, bringing some kind of, that like I am this kind of person that, exonerate and it's in some kind of cases that I am a big, I've been, professional and, so they are just trying to curve their grammar or whatever and make it look so big to the employer that they are well educated. But you know what? Your employer may not be looking at that, or your interviewer may not be looking at your grammar. It's actually looking at what you can do. So in every job that you apply for, what your potential employer or whoever that is interviewing you is looking at for is your capacity for the job role you're applying for. So your grammar does not necessarily matter. Though, of course, I understand in some jobs, like maybe a banking job or some corporate jobs where your grammar is also needed. They want you to, while speaking to clients, you should be fluent and you should be professional. It might needed, yes, but you can actually have your interview done with a simple grammar. Following you is interviewing you, how he's interacting with you, not you bringing in some dictionary words to prove a point. That's a mistake number one. Tip number two, your dress code. As simple as that, your dress code. Dress the way you want to be addressed is a very common term. So in a job interview, you really want to get a job. So when you are going for your interview, it is proper and it's advisable that you should dress in a very corporate manner. But even as that, you must also understand that jobs differs. Know the kind of job that the job role you are applying for. This is very important because going for an interview as a banker can be different from going for an interview in maybe a sporting field. Dealing with a sports is different from banking job, and banking job is also different from maybe like drama or something. So when you are going for an interview, observe the kind of job role you are applying for. How do they naturally dress? What is their dressing code like? These are some of the things that under background search you can actually do before going for your interview and make sure you dress accordingly. But most times it is advisable while going for an interview, you should dress corporate, dress the way you want to be addressed. So sometimes your employer or your interviewer may just fall in love with the way you dress alone and is already giving you the job, based on your look. You look very good and it's like, oh wow, this is nice. I think we need this kind of person. So the interaction will actually also tell because you already won one favor. So this is what you should know, and this is one of the mistakes people make during their interviews. Tip number 3, observe the environment. This is another very key point. Observe the environment. A lot of people go for interviews without observing the environment. You get to an interview and you're asked to sit. You sat down maybe for the past 1 hour, 2 hours, nobody has come to attend to you. Be patient. Be patient because sometimes that may just be your first interview. You never can tell, there is one camera somewhere watching you, and whatever you are doing there, your behavior is actually monitored somewhere you don't know. You never can tell. Or maybe probably even if there is no camera, the person is just somewhere just trying to try your patience and see how you can react and all of that. So you just be calm, wait until when you are called upon. And that's, gives you one quality your employer may be looking at. Then why getting into the interview room, maybe in the office where you are to be interviewed, as you are stepping in, it is also good you observe the environment. Observe the environment. You might see that this person is a football fan, is you have some of their badges hang somewhere around the wall or something. You find out he's a Chelsea fan, sometimes you just hear him now, Chelsea and all of that. He might drop the interview he's supposed to interview you sometimes and start discussing football with you, asking you about the game last night or whatever, or the game that will be played maybe the following day or in the evening or something. So you become friends because you are brothers already. And then it makes your job interview very simple. So you have used that one alone, as a hook to get them. Tip number 4, your hobbies. You have your hobbies in your CV. So you are applying for a job of a banker and your hobbies is you love traveling, you love watching football, you love watching movies, and your potential employer will just be looking at you. Somebody who is applying for a banking job is letting his employer to know from onset that he loves watching movies, he loves watching football, he loves traveling. So when are you not going to have time in your office where you are supposed to work? Your job does not require all of these things you have put in your CV. So it is very, very important and key. You know the job role you are applying for and understand the nature of that job so that your hobbies can actually tally with the job role you apply for. This is very simple. You are a driver and you're applying for a driving job. Your employer or your interviewer is actually looking at your hobby. What did you love doing? He's trying to understand what you love doing. So, of course, you have already indicated that in your CV. So, he's looking at your CV while he's interacting with you. Looking at the CV and interacting with you. Okay, this is what you have in your, okay, you said you love, as a driver now, it is proper for you to say, okay, I love traveling. That should be part of your hobbies in your CV. So your employer can, okay, this person loves traveling. That is like in connection with your job. It's harmonized, the job role you're applying for. But as a driver, you're applying for a driving job and you are telling your employer you love watching football, you love watching movies, you are just funny with your hobbies. That already automatically disqualifies you because your hobbies are not actually intending or in harmony with the job role you're applying for. So you've already lost it. These are some of the mistakes that you make during your interviews. and you go about blaming people, blaming yourself, hating other people, they don't like your progress and all of that. So it is very, very key that you understand this, at least these 4 tips that I have just shared with you here. And with these 4 tips, if you put it appropriately, I guarantee you your next job is sure. Thank you for watching Sound Voice TV. I know you have subscribed to our channel and we are glad that you have done that. God bless you.